can't thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To Dutchess County first, thank you. Thank you for the honor of having served as county executive these last 6 years. I am tremendously grateful. I want to start mostly by saying thank you to the people I love the most. My mom, my dad, my brothers, and my wife. Julie and I shared our hopes for the people of the state of New York. But most importantly, we listened. We listened to the stories, the challenges, the fears, and even the hopes of so many New Yorkers. And that really was the best part of running. Being a part of other people's lives, families, communities, in a way that just became so very, very special. And what I've learned about the state of New York that I probably already knew but needed reinforced was that we are an amazing state. We are as diverse as we are united. We have much more in common than divides us. But what I also know is that in many ways, we are in some ways two states. Yes, downstate and upstate, but also those who feel like they're on the inside and those who feel like they're looking on from the outside. And so I just would say with great compassion and respect, I challenge Governor Cuomo to work with all of those New Yorkers who feel like they're on the outside looking in. And I know that as county executive of this great county, I'm going to spend the next year and a half doing the same thing. Trying so very hard to be an example. Be an example for how we should live and how we should lead. And to speak up for those who too often feel as if they are ignored. Because as I have learned, they are. These last 8 months, I've tried to speak on behalf of those who struggle financially, those who may still be looking for a job, those who live in generational poverty. We've talked about those who struggle in schools, and you know this. I've also tried to speak on behalf of an entire population that too often gets overlooked. Those among us living with developmental disabilities. Men and women who too often feel the quiet prejudice of low expectations. As you know, this is very personal to me, but most importantly, it is so personal to so many families. There are those who live among us who, if given the opportunity, who, if were encouraged and embraced, could live their lives more freely and achieve greater success. I'm hopeful that as a state we might learn to think differently, and that all of us as individuals might look past that which divides us, look beyond the politics that too often infects us, and instead look at the common humanity we share. And that every life has value and every person should be embraced and encouraged. And that those who live with developmental disabilities deserve a community that cares for them and families that love them. And so as county executive, but also and more importantly as husband and father, I'm going to continue to work to break down barriers, to encourage people to find acceptance, and to overcome the prejudice of low expectations. And I know that we can do that. Listen, New York is a place where dreams do come true. How a kid who grew up on food stamps, raised by an amazing mom, could ever be the representative of a major political party, running for governor of the greatest state and the greatest nation the world has ever known, could only happen in America, and perhaps could only happen in New York. And while I am exceptionally grateful to my mom and my dad, and to my entire family for their sacrifice and support, I can tell you that it is in this place, in New York State, in Dutchess County, in the community that I've called home for the last 35 years, it is in this place that I've not only learned about public service, but I've learned about the great capacity of every human life to achieve success. And I am hopeful that this state finds new ways to make it easier for all who call New York State home. I want to express my deepest appreciation to the team that we assembled to run this campaign. I'm not going to name everyone, but I can only tell you that each of them talented in their own way, care deeply about public service and about the future of the state of New York. And I'm grateful I am grateful to all of you. And to all of those others who sought elected office tonight, whether win or lose, thank you for entering the arena, because that is what counts. You know, Teddy Roosevelt was quoted earlier as a hero of mine. He reminded us that it's hard to fail, but it's worse never to have tried to succeed. And so I say amen to that, and encourage all New Yorkers to put aside our party differences, to look out beyond the heated political rhetoric that too often divides us, and embrace that very concept that we all ought to try. We all ought to try to do just a little bit better, to serve each other a little bit more, to love each other a little deeper, and to accept each other a little more fully. And at the end of the day, I am confident that as New Yorkers, we can make and remake the great story of the great state of New York. God bless you and thank you.